Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful June 27th, 2019. I'm your host, Krusty Canuck, and coming up in tonight's podcast, we have more pipelines, yes, no, maybe, and security of Canada. All that coming up on the Krusty Canuck podcast. Stay tuned. Greetings again, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I am your host, Krusty Canuck, and this is the Krusty Canuck podcast. On June 27th, 2019, as the headline said, yes, pipelines, yes, no, maybe, and Canadian security. So let us start with the pipelines once again, shall we? Justin Trudeau, in his infinite wisdom, says yes to the pipeline. We'll start digging soon. And then not even 24 or 48 hours later, C-69 was passed, and so was C-48. So we've got a brand new sort of oldish pipeline, and we can't put it anywhere because C-69 forbids any kind of oil going off the shore of BC, and, 48 pretty well much the same without environmental consultations yet again and again and again. So more red tape to stagnate the progress of the Canadian economy. Well done, Liberal Party. Well done. Right? The average person in that party is receiving $170,000 a year to sit in Parliament and gobble, hobgobble about the environment and about the oil, and yet they are blatantly screwing this country out of a chance to succeed. Whether you agree with it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it's there. The proof is in the pudding. You know, they spend $4.5 billion of our dollars, not their money, the Canadian taxpayers' money, on buying this pipeline. And of course, in the last question periods, Justin Trudeau is sitting there saying, it's Harper's fault. Stephen Harper had this for 10 years and did nothing. Well, it's probably because the Canadian taxpayers didn't own the pipeline. That's why. And there were plans to get things done, plans to get things on the go. You bought the pipeline, and then what? Right? Sit on it for a while. Okay, yeah, we'll okay it now. We approve it now. But, C-69 and 48 have come through. So that speaks for itself, ladies and gentlemen. What a joke. What a con. Anyway, tell me what you think. You can reach me at Krusty B. Canuck 67. That's Krusty, small case B, Canuck 67 at gmail.com. Or on Facebook under Krusty Canuck. Or on Instagram at Canuck Krusty. Or here in Podbean and on the YouTube there. So let me know what you think. Well, this is a real sham, a real con, per se, you know? And look at all these ministers and the rhetoric they have been spewing out the past 4 years. Sunny ways and changes and all this fun stuff and diversity and multiculturalism, and diversity is our strength. Yet you create adversity. You have. You've done it for the seniors, you've done it for students, you've done it for veterans, and you've done it for the working class Canadians in this country. And I really wish you guys would get a grip of that. If any liberals are listening right now, get a grip of it. Right? Your tax dollars are going to support things other than roads and a few school books. Right? Being wasted on red tape bullshit, being wasted on attorneys, being wasted on more boards, more bureaucrats, more red tape to put through Parliament. Right? And of course, the senators are all for it. They're the ones that rushed the bill in. All the reasons why we should be electing our senators rather than being appointed by boy blunders and people with equity dreams rather than actual merit. You know what I mean? I'll leave a link at the bottom of the broadcast here from the National Post there in regards to 69 and 48. But just the whole fucking malarkey. Yes, another F-bomb, ladies and gentlemen. The effing malarkey when it comes to Canadians getting things done. You know, you look at the history of this party. Now, I'm not trying to disenfranchise. Well, yeah, I am just trying to. What the hell am I talking about? I am disenfranchised the Liberal Party. You know, they seem not to have any kind of grasp of their actions. You know, you charge so much tax just to pay off this debt, and then what's going to happen in the future? You know, can the Conservatives do better in October? I don't know. Have they done better in Alberta since Notley was kicked out? I'd say there's more lines of prosperity. I'd say there's the opportunity for people to get along, to get ahead, and but this whole pipeline fiasco is getting difficult. Why can't we bring our resources to market? Yeah, you can dump raw sewage in the St. Lawrence Seaway, Montreal and Quebec City. Toronto used to do it for the longest time in Lake Ontario. Now Victoria and Vancouver are doing it the same in their harbor. But no, you don't want any tankers coming through because you were afraid of a few killer whales getting hurt, getting killed. Well, what about the resources you have in that harbor right there? And then, how many cruise ships come through the port of Vancouver? How many other ships that emit such bad carbon stuff into the atmosphere? Yet, you're so worried about the carbon footprint. It's like you intentionally don't want prosperity. It's like all those politicians in British Columbia, whether you sit in the BC legislature or the city of Vancouver or the city of Victoria, with those clowns that want to charge, the military for Remembrance Day ceremonies. Like, that's pathetic. Come on, people. Let's start voting for people that are going to look after things, not take things. The idea is to appoint a government that wants to look after things for us, not take things from us. Taxes and prosperity, for starters. Right? Whether you agree or disagree with the oil sands or production in this country, speak out. Let's hear it. Right? It's one of the reasons why the Yellow Vests are up in arms, because, and instead of calling them racist and calling them bigots and calling them every other name in the book, why don't you call them patriots? They're standing up for something. Economy, prosperity, democracy. Right? Doesn't matter what color you are, or what gender you identify with, or whatever identity you come up with. Right? They're standing for all Canadians and prosperity here. Right? And October can't come soon enough, folks. Really. I don't know what else to say about it. I'll leave a link about the C69 and the C48 there in the description. You decide. But when you read it, you're going to have a chuckle. I'll tell you that much. It's just, shit or get off the pot. Remember your parents saying that to you when you were a kid? My parents said. They said to me. And you get these effing clowns calling the shots. In the right mind, they think they're doing us a favor, but they're not. Right? Yeah, we can have a pipeline, and we can have all these wonderful things, but wait a minute, we got more red tape to jump through. So, yeah, let's screw the pooch right till October, and then you can do what you want, right? Is that the logic? I'm not a political scientist, ladies and gentlemen, but I can smell bullshit. How about you? Let me know. Krusty B. Canuck 67 at Gmail, or on Facebook, Krusty Canuck, or on Instagram at Canuck Krusty, or here at Podbean and through YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, please consider, if you do subscribe, please click the little red bell in the right-hand corner. That way you get notified when I have a new product, and it helps me along the way. And a special thank you out there to all my new subscribers over the past couple of weeks. I've seen a great big list of new numbers coming up. Thank you very much, especially here in the Podbean. Thank you, new subscribers. And with that, please consider donating $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, or $8, whatever you can. This does get a little expensive at times. I'm trying to supplement my income a bit here, but with the research I do and the time and effort, every little bit helps. And as I mentioned before, you can find me in Subscribestar. You can find me at PayPal, and you can actually donate on the Podbean page. I'll leave the link in the description. So please consider donating, folks. Every little bit helps if you can. And please check out my merchandise. That helps as well. And 30% of every donation and every sale, I will graciously give to the Calgary Veterans Food Bank. That's right, the Calgary Veterans Food Bank. I will give them 30% of every piece of my earning on this broadcast. Help the veterans out that need something to eat. I'm a veteran too, so I know what it's like to struggle and to fight for things, especially when you realize you've had to work for an ungrateful government. So keep that in mind, folks, when you consider donating. Right? And carrying on more with the C69 and 48 debacle. All I can say is lackluster leadership, ladies and gentlemen. Shit decisions on behalf of the Canadian people. I like clean air. I like clean water. Who doesn't? But we have a resource that can meet demands and that can help our economy out too. And with Justin Trudeau and his little BS about the whole NSC-Lavalin thing, we're going to lose 9,000 jobs. He didn't care about the 20,000 jobs that were lost out here. and the few other thousands of jobs that were lost in Western Canada because of his decisions, right? They didn't think about that, though, did they? No. Well, but yeah, we got a pipeline, but okay, what's it going to be used for? Are we going to use it for anything? Any shovels in the ground? Any machinery going as we speak? Yeah, there's some footage of pipes going through Canmore, Alberta. Great. But what's going to happen? What's the story? You know, all of a sudden you okay the pipeline, then not even a day later, boom, 69 and 48 are put together. Yes, it's law now. Okay. Well, then, fuck you too, Justin. You know, fuck you, Notley. You know, fuck you, Climate Barbie. Fuck you, Krista Freeland. Fuck you, Amarjeet Singh. Fuck you, Bill Morneau, and your fucking McCain French fry empire. Screw you all. Screw you, Goodale. Screw you, Blair. And all you kids who weighed in on this whole environmental issue. You want to clean this, you want to clean that, but you still drive gasoline in your cars and trucks, ladies and gentlemen. So you'd rather get it from Saudi Arabia, a country that beats its women? You'd rather get it from a country that treats their people like absolute garbage? Or would you rather get it from Canada? Think about it. Think about it carefully. Yeah. Tell me what you think. Krusty B. Canuck 67 at gmail.com, or on Facebook, Krusty Canuck, and on Instagram at Canuck Krusty, or here in Podbean and on the YouTube. Please give me a comment or two. Give me a suggestion. What should we do? What do you think? Tell me how you really feel. Okay, moving on. Canada and security. Oh, yes, of course. Mr. Goodale and Mr. Bill Blair weighing in on the whole gun issue and everything. According to the Toronto Sun article, which I'll be posting at the end of this broadcast there in the description, basically it's always nothing to see here. Remember those two gentlemen in Richmond Hill about a month and a half ago that were caught with explosive devices? Now, I mentioned this in one of my episodes before, but there's a little more detail here. There's a little more proof in the pudding. You know, it's according to these people, it's bad to have a gun in your possession, and yet two individuals can cross the border with explosive devices or devices thereof to make a thereof explosive, or a, something goes bang in the night. And you don't hear much about it later after that. Why? Right? The Danforth shooter. What else have you heard about that? Oh, he had mental issues. Well, you think? Like, anybody who takes on the role of being... anyone who wants to walk in a room and start blasting, or anybody who wants to take a vehicle and start running people over, do you not think they already have a mental issue? It doesn't matter. That's already established. Like, holy fuck. But according to this article, it's just a matter of people trying to brush it under the rug, get it out of the way, keep it a low profile, want people to panic and worry. Let's worry about, legal gun owners, shall we? Let's worry about people who actually take the training and do the lessons and spend the money to get their PAL card to acquire said firearm. Let's not worry about somebody who acquires a firearm illegally or steals a vehicle or who acquires explosive equipment, to make things that go boom in the night. Right? Let's not worry about that. I'll leave a link in the description here. Let my readers and listeners and viewers decide for yourselves. Like, it's just, I don't know what to say. It's ridiculous. There are attorneys and there are prosecutors and there are administrators that get paid big bucks to sit there and look after things, and yet they don't want the media to know what's going on here. Maybe that has something to do with this, the $595 million that Justin Trudeau gave to the media to bail out some of the, paper presses and people that are relevant. But people like the Rebel and the Toronto Star, the Toronto Sun, get shunned and ridiculed because of the so-called right-wing views. Now, if you want to look after security in this country, look after the security of the persons, all peoples. Not just a group of people or an idea or a few ideologues. Let's go after all of Canada. Okay? That's your job, Bill Blair. That's part of your job. You too, Mr. Goodall. That's your fucking job too. Right? Don't be brushing other things in the rug. You know, don't be handing us bullshit here. You know, Canada has never been an aggressive nation. Yet when something aggressive happens inside of Canada, why do people like yourself constantly got to rush everything and throw it under the rug? Oh, nothing to see here. Why? What's the agenda, sirs and ma'ams? Huh? What's the agendas? Someone has bomb-making materials? Oh, it's a local matter. Oh, is it really? Huh. According to the article, the York Regional Police were tipped off by the FBI. Local matter, eh? FBI is a federal jurisdiction in the United States. Okay, so why wasn't the RCMP made aware of this too? Well, I have friends in the RCMP. They'd probably be just rolling their eyes right now, understanding what's going on here. Well, but wow, I just shake my head, folks. Really, you really got to consider what the fuck is going on here with these clowns. You know, October's coming, and yet these people are still dog fucking the idea, screwing the pooch. Oh, gotta keep things quiet. Oh, gotta keep things nice and clean and squirky and all this. Stop worrying about how things look and start worrying about how things are. Okay? That's the point with my broadcast here. Get out there, get people talking, get dialogue going here. You know, yeah, I'm full of satire and humor and maybe too much anger, but I gave 20 years to this country. And there's a lot of friends out there that are still giving 100%. A lot of my friends out there are still waiting for the benefits, waiting to be heard by Veterans Affairs. And then you get these clowns calling the shots, you know, whether it's let's build a pipeline or not, or whether let's look after national security or not. You know, it boggles my mind, ladies and gentlemen. And apparently Mr. Mark Norman got a nice settlement from the government. I'll have to read more on that, but I haven't seen anything. But please tell me if you can. Well, here's a guy who stood up for the Canadian Navy, who used common sense, you know, got us a ship that was going to work and do the job. And, of course, the powers that be didn't like that because they wanted to spend another $89 million with a different company. Well, there you go. Not too practical, eh? Not too pragmatic on our parts, or correction, on the government's part, right? But, no, I guess he's retiring, well, considering he was humiliated by the people he works for. So, yeah, I'd retire, too. I'd give the old Chuck U. Farley as well, you know? No, never mind that. It's just my dog out there. But, yeah, I would, I'd be a little, I'd probably quit, too. You know, getting thrown on the bus like that by the people you're supposed to represent. And, well, just proves again, ladies and gentlemen, lackluster leadership. More bullshit. That's what happens when you get unqualified people doing the big boys' jobs, right? Right. So let's hope that the next bunch of officials here who, you know, who get things on the go actually do a better job. Now, hypothetically, let's say if the Conservatives did get in, hypothetically, okay, I hate to say it, folks, but there's probably going to be cutbacks, really, to try to compensate the overspending. That's just the way it goes every time the Liberals, Conservatives are back and forth. You know, provincially, it's always been, you know, Liberals or Conservatives or NDP, whatever. And there's always been cutbacks, something been drawn back to bring money back into the system. And I hate to say it, but there might be cutbacks in the social programs, you know. But in the same sense, too, it's like if you're strong and independent, you're not always going to need social programs to get ahead, you know. Yes, there's people that are out there that are less fortunate. There are people out there that really need a boost. I agree. If you need a hand, by all means. But if you're one of those people that just want to sit around in your ass all day and complain and win and talk about how pissed off your life is and how terrible your life is, then maybe you should make some better choices. Now, I have every right to blame the government what's going on because we're looking like a bunch of fools in the world today. And I've worked with a lot of good people. People that would gladly give me the shirt off their back and people I'd gladly give my shirt off my back for. And when you come home at the end of the day, you know, there's an old saying, you take your army hat off, put it up, and relax. Okay. But some things are hard to let go. You just can't let it go. And when you look at the lackluster performance and the shitty fucking personalities that are calling the shots in this country, and I will say shitty personalities because Mr. Goodale is nothing but a wimp. Bill Blair is still a police chief, but now he's a politician. So basically, I better just do what I'm saying. And we all know Justin, Peter Pan, Sock Boy, Potato, and Krista Freeland with her vast, Harvard business journalist background. And of course, Climate Barbie, of course, she's an attorney, but she knows everything about fucking environmental science, apparently. And just all these other fucking clowns. Morneau with his fortune and his pension program. That's out there for some of our services. Go figure. Right? And Iqra Khalid and her shady background with Islamophobia and everything. Just a bunch of clowns in all shapes and sizes. And if I'm going to vote for somebody, I'm going to vote for the best person. Male or female, I don't care. This is the way I was raised. And when it comes to the economics, the social spectrum, and when it comes to security of this land, who's going to do the better job? Honestly, folks, ask yourself that. Who is going to do the job at hand? Right? Look how the military has been treated. Right? The past 30 years, look how the military has been treated. Now, I'm not saying the Conservatives done a wonderful job, but they got things done while I was serving. New aircraft, new procedures, some new vehicles, right? A fresh set of SOPs, just a good perspective. And when the Liberals got in the 90s, what did they do? They cut. Cut some more. Let's do everything in a shoestring budget. Let's keep sending guys over here and over there and spread thin, and try to create miracles out of fucking toothpaste. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been some soldiers I worked with, some who instructed me, who created many a miracle from toothpaste. Metaphorically speaking, it is. But you know what I mean? But there's only so many times you can overcome and adapt until something goes bust. And then you got to wait in line for something new. So when it comes to the defense of this country, ladies and gentlemen, I highly suggest you think about who you're electing and who you're going to put in charge, right? Especially when it comes to border security, when it comes to airport security, there's mention of that in the article I'll be posting on here, but we really got to think about it. You work all your lives, especially the seniors out there who have worked up until 65, 70 years of age, and then to get a pension that's like $600 a month. Like, what kind of fucking slap in the face is that? Really? And then you got some ungrateful students in this country bitching and moaning about how Canada's still a colony, and oh my God, the whole oppression and the white male privilege BS, right? And then you got student loans, kids. So do the math, right? Like, don't give me this male white bull crap or this ethnic bull crap. I'm going to look at you as an adult, and I expect you to act like an adult, right? But if you're getting handout after handout after handout and then sitting there pointing fingers at me because I'm white, well, then I guess you're part of the problem, aren't you? Right? I have relatives that work their fingers to the fucking bone, and they're still trying to get ahead, right? But I'll say that for another story. It sickens me and angers me. But anyhow, folks, that sums this broadcast up for now. Like I said, October. When October comes around, think about it. Think carefully. Think of who is going to be the better person for the jobs. It doesn't matter who you vote for. Just vote with your conscience. Save your heart for your family and your loved ones. But vote with your conscience. Vote with your head. Who is going to do the better fucking job? Right? Because every news broadcast I see and every article I read, I just get so disgusted. I guess you could get triggered. No, I don't get triggered with that. It pisses me off. There's other things that trigger me other than, feelings. But I'll leave it up to you, the listener. As I say again, thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for all the new subscribers on my Podbean and especially on YouTube. Hats off. Thank you very much. Please share the content, spread the word. By all means, the more shares, the better things are going to be. I hope to reach 1,000 subscribers sometime this year. Would be nice. But the more shares, that's up to you. All right. And please consider donating if you can, as I mentioned before. Anything will do. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. Offer still stands. If you commit $5 a month or $5 to $10 a month, I will mail you a T-shirt from teespring.com under Krusty Canuck merchandise, and I'll leave a link at the bottom there for that too. So more or less. If you can commit $5 or more a month to me, I'll mail you a shirt. That'd be great. Right? So that way, you get a swanky Krusty Canuck T-shirt, and it's a win-win. It's a win-win. And you donate $3 or $5, you can get yourself a nice mug too. I got a couple of choices there on the page, so choose carefully. If you just want to donate and not worry about any kind of merchandise, that's great too. Anyhow, I've been Krusty Canuck on this beautiful 27th of June, and I hope you guys look after yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, humanity and merit wins the day. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.